Hey everybody. So lately we've had some people have expressed interest in learning some of this music up past the 5th fret, and I'm eager to jump into it, but I thought, before I do that, we'd better have another banjo boot camp training session. Because in order to be able to play up there, you need a fretted instrument, and you need most importantly, you need an instrument that is set up properly. So I'm going to run y'all through how to do that in this little segment. So you're going to need a tape measure. So I got this big standard one here, but whatever. It's ideal if you keep. I've seen people keep a little small mini tape measure on their keychain, and that's great to travel with. And I usually keep a little like a tailor's tape, like the soft tape that you just roll up that's got the inches written on it. I'll keep that in my instrument case when I travel because quite often when you travel, like on an airline or something, you put your instrument in a case, you're not going to play it for like a day or two while you're traveling. It's advisable to loosen the strings and collapse your bridge for the trip. And so hence when you get to where you're going to be performing or playing at the end of your trip, you will need to set your instrument up again. So here's how you would basically, you would do that. So it's real simple. All you do is with your tape measure, measure from the distance from the nut on a standard 5-string banjo, the distance from the nut to the 12th fret. And you can see on mine it's about 13.5 inches, 13 3/4, something like that. But 13.5 we'll call that. So the distance from the nut to the 12th fret, that needs to be equal distance from the 12th fret to your bridge. So what I do is I measure from the 12th fret to where the first string meets the bridge. And look at that, mine's off. So I would take mine and I would nudge it up a little bit. Okay, let's try it again. We're going for 13.5 inches. Well, that looks a lot better to me. That's pretty close. And in fact, I'm about to drop that. It was only off a hair. And look what I'm going to do. You guys, hopefully you should know this. I'm going to cock my bridge just a little bit more. That's going to get me right on target. That's not too bad. So that's the other thing. So once you find, the distance from the nut, which is, this piece, it's usually ebony or bone. On a modern banjo, it's going to be a little plastic piece that holds your strings up here. So from the nut to the 12th fret needs to be the same distance as what you make from the 12th fret to your bridge. So that's 13.5 inches on this banjo. It will vary depending on the scale or whatever of your instrument. Anyhow, and then once you get that done, put a little tilt in your bridge. I tilt it this way. And you can see on this bridge, maybe y'all can see it, this is a compensated bridge. So it's got a little cutout there. Hopefully the camera's focusing enough so you can see it. So that's maybe a good idea to get. I've heard that these don't work, but then I noticed that it seems to work on this one. So you be the judge. So we got a little tilt in our bridge. Another thing that I can tell y'all, since we're on the subject of banjo setup, these are probably for sound. These are the best tailpieces for sound right now. I mean, they're pretty common, but the kind that has it has an adjustment and it'll tilt the tailpiece down on an axis like that. The idea being, y'all, that you want pressure on the back of your bridge. I don't know why, but I've been told this. And you want pressure back here, and that will make your banjo sound better, louder, brighter, stronger. So the little no-knot, the traditional no-knot tailpiece, it's just little like that, that's fine and dandy. But if you want some more volume and some more punch out of your banjo, consider picking up one of these tailpieces. I was real reluctant to get one of these because I don't like the look of them, but I got it anyhow, and because it makes the banjo sound so much better to put pressure close up behind the bridge like this. And the same is true, guys, up here on your nut. If you notice how I wind these strings, hopefully you can see this, they're wound from the bottom. And the idea is I want my string to come I want as much angle here as possible, because that is going to improve the sound of the banjo too. So you want you want pressure, you want these to be down. You don't want these, my point is you don't want to wind them from the top for ideal sound. If you wind them from the top, you're not going to get as much out of your nut as you would if you wind these pegs from the bottom. That's another pro tip. Wind your strings from the bottom of the peg, get as much angle as you can here, and use some kind of tailpiece that allows you to anchor back and get more pressure back here. Okay, into the pro tip, back to boot camp. So we did the measurement from there to there, and from here to here, and we did the tilt. So the way to check and make sure you got it right is, in theory, once you have it all in tune, you'll have, that'll be in tune, and then this should be perfectly in tune at the 12th fret. All those should be the same note as the strings open, and then you'll know you've set the thing up right. And the harmonics should ring true, and so forth. Yeah, and that's how to set it up. That's pretty much all you need to know for the basic stuff of how to get going. And we'll come back shortly with some musical pieces that involve playing up here now that we're set up. All right, we'll see y'all later.